Good. All right, good evening, everybody. Our October 28, 2024 meeting is now called to order. We have invocation by yours truly, and then Councilwoman Washington Eli is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Can we stand for the prayer and pledge? Let us pray. Oh, dear God, we come before you tonight. Thank you for giving us a reasonable portion of our strength. Even though we may not have everything we may desire, may not necessarily be everywhere we want to be in terms of our goals and aspirations in life, but we thank you for what you've given us. God, we pray that we will use this time today to think thoughtfully, intelligently, compassionately about these matters that are on the agenda. Do guide us. And even as Paul instructed in Scripture to the Corinthian church, that we follow even those instructions to let everything be done decently and in order. We ask these blessings in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, Councilwoman Washington Eli. I'll ask everybody, please take a moment to silence your cell phones during this meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. I have the clock on my right. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking, or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. Again, thank you for adhering to these instructions for an orderly meeting. All righty. Next, we've got reading and approval of the minutes from our meeting 2 weeks ago on the 14th.
Mayor, I make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of October 14th, 2024, and they be adopted as reported.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adopt the minutes as they have been reported. Any particular comment about this particular motion? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
PT?
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Look, we have next, we're supposed to have Coach Nims, women's basketball coach at NSU, but I don't see her in the audience at this particular time, so we'll move on. If she comes, we'll have her to come and just talk like Coach Cabrera did, just really to make that connection, town and gown more so. So we'll give her an opportunity and just move on at this point, okay? Hopefully she comes. All right, we do have the next thing we have is a planning and zoning ordinance for final. We've discussed this now. It went through the planning and zoning, and it's dealing with the Walmart on College Avenue. So this is Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 28 of 2024, and ordinance amending ordinance number 64 of 2001 by changing zoning classification of property described as follows. Whereas the Planning Commission of the City of Natchitoches, State of Louisiana, has recommended at their meeting of September 16, 2024, that the application to rezone the property described above from B3 commercial to B3 with special exception BA and variance of 11.75 feet of front yard setback to reconstruct a Murphy gas station be approved. This ordinance was introduced on October 14, 2024 and published in the Natchitoches Times on October 19, 2024. And I move that we adopt ordinance number 28 of 2024.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any Any comment here? Chantrell, I think you remarked, I think you were out the last meeting, but you pretty much shared any additional thing, or it's pretty much them tearing down the current gas station and building a new one?
And that's it.
Okay. Any projected start date? I know they're just getting through this process. Do we know any of that yet? Or?
The middle of November is what they gave me. They wanted to get this out of the way first, all of the approvals. And then once they got the approvals from the city, they would then go to Walmart because they are in the Walmart parking lot. It's two different parcels, but they still have to have approval from Walmart before they can actually begin.
Okay, got you. All right. You said it's two different what?
Parcels of land that
Okay.
Memphis is on versus Walmart. So even though we may approve them for what we have, they still have to get approval from Walmart before they can start.
Gotcha. All right, understand. Okay. Any additional comment about this particular item? All right. Seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Next item is also read by Councilman Nielsen.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 29 of 2024, ordinance to designate funds from the American Rescue Plan for use by the city of Natchitoches to provide funding for the Natchitoches gun buyback program, authorizing the execution of any and all documents, contracts, and/or agreements, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. And I move that we adopt ordinance number 29 of 2024.
All right, we got a motion there. This, y'all, is just a flyer that could be used, and I think I shared this at our presser. So we've been doing these kind of every quarter. So I shared it. I think there's a $50 for, that is one that's kind of not one that's not functioning. So these are just numbers. Our numbers can be lower, they could be higher, whatever the case may be. And they even have a church where they did this in Houston. So they've got different price points, different gift cards. So it's just to kind of give you some idea how some of this could potentially work. I do have a video as well, Steve. You got that loaded up for us? I don't know if you're showing it on all screens. It's just a 2-minute video I wanted to share. Then we can have any comment or anything like that. If you can full screen it first. I read an article from Columbus, Ohio, and I said I called those folks, was able to talk to somebody from the city. So if you just go back, it's just a couple minutes long here, and just kind of see what they went through and just see how they thought about it.
In an effort to get more guns off the streets of Columbus, last year they collected 344 weapons, but did that actually make a difference?
That's a big question tonight. TV's Colin Dorsey is looking into the city's plan and how it compares to last year's buyback.
He joins us live from downtown Columbus tonight. Colin?
Yeah, the idea is that you turn in a gun in return for cash. Last year, the city of Columbus paid more than $136,000 in gift cards for those 344 guns. They hope to improve those numbers with another gun buyback program this September.
Last year, Columbus Police, along with the Office of Violence Prevention, teamed up for a gun buyback, trading guns for cash to get them off the streets.
You sell them to other locations, you never know where that gun's going to end up. And we know that a large majority of the guns that are used in crime are stolen from either a car or a house.
Rita Shack oversees the city's Office of Violence Prevention and is planning another buyback this September. While the city paid out more than $136,000 for 344 guns, there was $106,000 still left on the table. The council will vote tonight to use that money for this year's event. Shack attributes all these leftover dollars to simply running out of time last year.
It ended up taking us about 5.5 hours to process all of the cars that were in line at the end of that 3 hours, and we ended up sending quite a few people home because we had to cut the line off just for logistical reasons.
Critics of gun buyback programs say there is no data to say these actually prevent gun violence. A 2021 paper by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that while gun buybacks are popular choices by cities attempting to deter gun crime, they don't make a big enough dent in the number of guns on the street. Shack says even a small dent is worth the effort.
Any gun that we can take off of the street, out of somebody's house that's unwanted, out of the hands of a child, is a win for us.
Now, when it comes to how much they're paying for these guns that are turned in, Shaq says they opted to pay above the market value for those firearms in order to incentivize people to take part in that program. Live from downtown Columbus, Colin Dorsey, 10 Colin.
All right, so again, I thought it was fitting to show you since we kind of referenced the Columbus article. I think it was from the Columbus Dispatch, and I did get on the phone with somebody as well. So if you can remember from the video, they've got an Office of Violence Prevention, and it wasn't all just saying, you know, they had their piece about do gun buybacks really work, what the stats say. Then you saw the lady came back and said her little comment, one gun off the street is still better. So this is just an attempt. Of course, the American Rescue Plan, the federal government in 2021 gave several reasons by which we could use it for your water treatment infrastructure, which we use some of that. I mean, just a different host of things. One of them is help to fighting crime, and I think when you're fighting crime, you certainly need a multifaceted approach. It's not just one thing. I know a lot of people say, well, if this would just happen, if this would just happen. But it's a multifaceted approach, just like with anything that's complicated. So we've got a little bit of ARPA left. I think after this, $200,000. I know we've got some equipment that probably that can go towards as well with the remaining. So just wanted to present this to you all. I know we've had our conversations. People have got varying opinions on it. But obviously we know we're dealing with a situation of people using guns to shoot others. And I'm one who believes, you know, make the attempt and then you can debrief it. Don't talk yourself out of it until you know what it's actually going to do, how it works, and things like that. So you could always look at many ways to not to do something. So just kind of my viewpoint and opinion on it. Certainly want to open it up to any comment from council or people here in the audience.
I agree with you. I think if we save one life, we did the right thing.
All right. Any other comment?
I mean, I was trying to find like a dollar amount. What are we thinking about for as like a dollar amount?
Well, I kind of showed that was from Houston. I mean, we could say, I mean, it's not written in the little ordinance or whatnot, but we could, it's not determined yet, but just to kind of give you some idea of what we could come together, whether it's the council or other people from the community, certainly with the help of law enforcement, because I think they had like a $100 for, $50, I think, that I showed on that flyer earlier. And if you got it again, Steve, you can show that flyer again, but $50 for a malfunctioning gun. Oh, 25, the whole thing is 25,000, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the whole amount on there. I think we do have a one from the audience.
I just want to state my opinion if you ask for the council. Again, I'm not in favor of the gun buyback. Of course, you know, I'm just my one vote. But my reasoning for it, I know we have the crime, but I feel that that money, $25,000, could be used in a more appropriate manner to be dispersed through Natchitoches. We need more law enforcement on the ground. That's what we need. We buying back rifles. People not really shooting, you're hunting with rifles. You're gonna have people still out there breaking in people's homes, as she said on that film, breaking in people's cars. We got the Christmas festival coming. We have all kind of events coming here. We have enough crime now with them breaking in people's cars, stealing guns out. It's gonna happen. They're gonna get the guns. We're gonna spend this money. They're gonna break in somebody's house, a car, steal a gun to make $50. And you still got the same problem. We need more officers. We need to be able to pay these off. We need more officers on the ground. And that's just my opinion.
Well, and I would
I'm
just
not in
say,
favor of it, but-
I would just say, just for clarity, I think what she said is that, I think her point was that most of the guns, she made a point about people stealing guns, but a lot of the crime comes from stolen guns, I think is how she said it.
The criminals that's using them are not gonna turn them in. Who's gonna be turning in the guns?
Hold up, we can't just talk from the audience like that. Yeah, we can't just, we got a process here. Okay, yeah, but
I just
again,
said that.
clarity on her
That's my
point.
opinion.
I don't think she was saying that the gun buyback caused them to steal guns, just for clarification on that. State your first and last name and whatever remarks you got.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah?
Oh, okay. It's along the Lega, car size.
Steve, give us a 3. Oh, you working on it?
Excuse me? You know
No,
what?
he's giving us 3 minutes.
Oh, okay, and I hope everybody else get 3 minutes also. Let me share something with you all. I worked auxiliary policeman for the city of Shreveport. I have been through the trial tribulation of buying back guns among the criminals in Shreveport. This is the biggest joke that ever came through from the Joker himself. This is not going to work. The people who have guns are not selling guns back to the city. They tried this back in the 80s in Shreveport. It didn't work. Look at the crime happening right now in the city of Shreveport. Shreveport now is no different from Natchitoches, from the killings that we have here in this town here. These people are not trying to buy back, sell guns and everything else. We can go to, let's say, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, have over 1 million people in that town. Surely they buy back guns and everything else. The city of Natchitoches have over 250 cameras in this town here and can't solve a crime. And it's out there. Where do we get help from? Do we call other agencies to come in and help the city of Natchitoches? We can't judge our table of contents on a city like Milwaukee. Milwaukee have 1 billion people. Natchitoches have right at 40,000 people in the city of Natchitoches. And we have crime. We had a killing here just the other day. What have been done about it? And we buy back guns, and we can take this money and put it in a resource that would help the people in the community. What we need here is police relation between the community and the people and everything else. You can't call the police to have them to come out and you tell them about a crime happened, because half of the policemen is going to tell the criminal who called them. So whose life is at jeopardy? The people who is telling you all something. Crime Stopper is one of the biggest jokes in Natchitoches. Y'all get some calls on petty crimes and everything else, but major crimes lock folks up. Y'all depending on the public to give you all information, and what happened? It's unsolved. So guess what? Let's deal with Natchitoches. Let's leave any other perimeter big city out of the issue.
Thank you, Mr. Sires. Thank you.
Okay, well, let me finish.
Your 3 minutes is up.
Well, okay, my time up because you allowed that, right? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comment? Yes, come on. See, if you got the 3 minutes, I'm gonna say the 3 minutes again. Whoever talk.
You can come back again in 3 minutes, but that's your 3 minutes is up.
No, it's 3 minutes on that topic. State your first and last name, please, ma'am.
Good evening, Dorothy McGaskey. I just want to say I agree with some of the comments that Mr. Sides has made. Mayor, we had a discussion with you after a council meeting on the second Monday, and some of the citizens expressed their concerns about this buyback program not being successful in this city, because we have a major problem with violence and killing and drug problems. That's what we need to deal with. Criminals are not going to sell you back illegal guns. They are getting them to commit crimes. And if you don't understand that, you need to get out in the streets and find out what's going on. We need to look at preventive measures that are going to make a difference. Talk to the people who live in these communities. You have heard us comment about the help that we need from the police. They can't be there every time a crime occurs. People don't report stuff because they don't feel safe. When we say we need a multi-jurisdictional task force that is active and that goes into these communities on an ongoing basis to help curtail this crime and make us feel safe. This is not something that's going to work for our city. Some young men are walking around with guns because they want them, they need them on them because they want to feel safe. We have drug factions that are active in these communities, in our communities, mostly the black communities. Make a comparison with our communities and in East Natchitoches. Just ride through there any day of the week and you can see the difference. We've got to deal with reality here. We're suffering and we don't feel safe. And we need some help in our communities. The criminals have taken over. We're looking to you all for resolutions, not for something that's not going to work. Use this program for preventive measures. Hire officers that's going to help us feel safe in our communities. Not attempt to buy back guns because it's not going to work. You have people that's going to sell guns that want extra money, not criminals. So please, look for something else that's going to work. We got people that are willing to mentor in schools. We need people working with these kids at our recreation center. We need intervention methods, preventive methods that are going to work. They're going to make our people feel safe. That's what we need. This is a waste of the city's time and the citizens' money.
Yes, ma'am. State your first and last name, please. Yeah, please.
My name is Gwendolyn Ante Hardison Davis. Thank you for allowing me to present. My posture on the gun buyback was when I looked at the screen, this was a larger city, seemed to have been. What types of demographics did we really study? Did we study those that were comparable to our city, to this area? And this is also a red state. This is hunter's paradise. I don't think the gun buyback would work in this area in particular because of those reasons and because of the numbers. Did we really study other cities our size to see if that really worked? Thank you.
All right.
Good evening. I'm Robert Lilly Jr., and basically, I'm going to be honest with you. The ladies are speaking it straight. There's nowhere in the world that's going to work. No one is going to turn anything but old relics to try to get a little change, but you're not going to turn into assault weapons, just causing all the mayhem. This is unreal, and we need some type of program. Maybe our grant writer can look at some stuff that may emphasize that we could actually get something going with maybe some assistance on the law enforcement, or maybe just a task force, because what we got going is not spending. That's not going to work. I agree with them. I echo everything you're saying. Thank you.
Right. Council, y'all got anything else?
Yeah, I say, Mayor, I agree too as well. You know, the criminals, of course, they're not going to turn their guns in, but I think it's more so an attempt to just get the guns off the street. You know, if you got people breaking in cars, breaking in houses, then that's just one gun that they not going to have to steal. So if we thinking about trying to allocate what it was, 25,000, well, you know, who knows how many people we may get to participate, but I think one gun, if we can get one gun, I believe that's great. You know, but it's not the fix to the whole problem, because everything that you stated is true. But I think that it's an attempt to try to get that ball rolling, at least get that one gun off the street. So I think that in that way, we should do it. That's my opinion.
And I would just piggyback on Councilman PT. Anything we can do to save one life is what it's all about. So that's just to echo that.
And I think it's been stated multiple times, this is multifaceted. This is only one little portion of an attempt to slow down the violence. And well, everybody has their opinion. And
Mr. Lilly, you can't just speak from the floor.
Some of the families to put some pressure on some of these people that have the illegal guns and get a hold of the guns and get them turned in. We don't have to have money for a deer rifle. If we want to exclude that, we can exclude that. If we want to give more money for an assault rifle,
This is just
we can do that.
This is just a template. It's not saying what it's going to be.
So,
great point.
I totally agree with the task force thing. I think though that's something in a little bit longer term that we can get together and do to bring them into the neighborhoods. Those are all ideas that have been discussed, but the gun buyback is something, if we can get 20 guns off the street, I think it's a good move. But
Yeah, and this money comes from ARPA, and it's a one-time payment. It's not a recurring fund, so we don't get it annually. So we can't use the money to, say, hire more police, because next year that money's not going to be there to pay the police anymore. And so that we can't use it for that. Do we need more police? Yeah, we'll all say yes, absolutely. I would love to have 8,000 police out there if we can have it. I mean, God bless. And so the money we're setting aside for this, I mean, maybe only $1,000 of it is used. We don't know. We don't know what people are going to bring in. But if there's, and I 100% agree, criminals are not going to be bringing their guns in to go make some money. But most of the crimes, most of the shootings we're seeing are juveniles. Someone knows they have these guns. Whoever their guardian may be knows they got a gun. And so the hope is, while that kid's at school, someone's going to grab that gun and they're going to say, it's time to get rid of it and go make $500. And now that kid don't have a gun anymore. And that kid might have, that evening, killed somebody, and that would have ruined 2 lives. He would have ruined his life and the kid he killed. And so if that happens one time, if we do this and that one time that happens, then that's a success to me.
Let me ask this too, Chief. You probably can help me on this question. As far as the guns that's getting turned in, like, do they get like scanned?
The way the program would work, any guns that were turned in, any gun that we actually seize, any gun that we collect, any casing, projectiles, they're all run through the National Ballistics Information System. We receive hits from guns from Houston, from Dallas, from down in New Orleans. These guns are everywhere, and they exchange them, they change them, they steal them, and they transport them to other locations. When people say that, oh, Natchitoches is getting like other locations, these people come here and visit Natchitoches, or either bad actors from here go to those communities and do things in which cause retaliation. So every gun that would be collected in this program would be checked to find out whether or not they're wanted, stolen, been used in actual crimes of violence, so that we've got several cases right now where we're working with the state and with other agencies such as Houston that involve weapons that we've seized from individuals here. So the program would allow for us to do that. We actually have access to the ATF's E-Trace system, so every gun's put in there so we can find out who the original owner was, because we know that we have straw ownership that exists. We have girlfriends, grandparents, parents, and others that go and purchase weapons for individuals and allow them to use them. I've heard some comments made from the crowd that does speak to the point that it starts at home. All these people who are allowing their children to go out after hours or go and perpetrate crimes, and then they help placate and allow them to keep those weapons in store there. From my standpoint, they should go to jail. They're just as responsible for the crimes that are being perpetrated by these young adults. And anything that we can do to get a gun off the street, we're supporting. We have been actively, along with working with other agencies, trying to seize those weapons so that they're not out there to hurt someone. But we can't stop everything. Just like someone said, we can't be everywhere. So it's just an attempt.
Thank you, Chief.
I have a question, Chief. Will we be getting a report as to how many guns have been collected? And what do you do with these guns? That's two questions I have.
Yes, ma'am.
When you collect these
Every
guns,
gun
where
that
are
would
they
be
stored?
collected with that program would be listed as an inventory. That's one of the requirements for any grant. If we're expending those funds for a program such as that, we've got to account for every expenditure. Those weapons would be run. Any of them that are involved in crimes, we would contact. If it's not here in our local jurisdiction, we would contact the jurisdictions that they're from, because most guns, when they're seized or when they're stolen, they enter an NCIC report. So it basically, if you run it through our system, it'll say, hey, it was stolen from Lake Charles, and here's the complainant, and it helps free up a case or, make an arrest, because that person's in possession of stolen things, so it helps lead to more information.
So they're sent back, that's my question.
They will be after they've been cleared, after they've been cleared from any jurisdictional requirements here by our local prosecutors.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Look, and once you've had your 3 minutes, that's just 1 3-minute, sir, that's just 1 3-minute opportunity on that agenda. All right, we heard a motion. I don't think I heard a second, did we? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion made and second. Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
No.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
Harrington,
Yes.
PT,
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, moving on to a few ordinances for introduction. The first one is read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 0302024. It's ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to award the bid for rehabilitation of existing clear well at the water treatment plant. Bid number 0669. Whereas resolution number 072 of 2024 was passed by the Natchitoches City Council on August 12, 2024, authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids rehabilitation of existing clear well at the water treatment plant, bid number 0669. And whereas this bid was advertised in the Natchitoches Times on August 15th, August 22nd, and August 29th, 2024, in accordance with law. And whereas two bid proposals were received and opened as follows. Utility Service Company, Inc., Perry, Georgia, $1,043,100. Lemoyne Company, LLC of Lafayette, Louisiana, $1,183,000. Whereas on October 10, 2024, the appointed committee of Clarissa Smith, Finance Director, Ed Lee, Director of Purchasing, Matt Anderson, Utility Director, and Rosemary Eli, Councilwoman, reviewed the bid proposals for rehabilitation of existing clear well at the water treatment plant bid 0669. And whereas the above appointed committee members unanimously recommend the city award the bid to the lowest bidder, Utility Service Company, in the amount of $1,043,100. And this is for introduction only.
All right, this is a project I know Matt has been really anxious about getting started and moving forward, so finally can see some progress. Just for some of the funding, I'll let Matt say what he wants to say. Majority city funds, but we did have $300,000 from state funds that we're using toward this project. Matt, you got any additional comment?
Yeah, this is for a 1 million gallon ground storage tank at the water plant itself. This tank has been offline for some time. We're replacing the roof of the tank. We're recoating the tank inside and out, doing some work on the piping. So it's a pretty extensive project that we've been, like the mayor said, we've been anxious to get this tank back online and back in use for quite some time now.
Okay, any questions for Matt? All right, like I said, he's really been pushing to get this done. Even though it's at the water treatment plant site, it's not a part of the big $17 million project. So, and Matt, just give us a little update of what you know about that project. I haven't taken any pictures in a while. I plan to go there this week, but.
Yeah, we're actually going to have a meeting there tomorrow for a progress meeting. So really all they've done so far is they've mobilized, they brought in a lot of equipment, and the actual spot where we had the groundbreaking, that concrete area, all that concrete had to be removed because that's where the new plant is going to sit. That concrete has been removed over the past 2 weeks, so it's really just dirt now. So they should be getting, I think we're waiting now for the equipment to arrive, but they're going to begin to do some of the piping work. So lots of big pipe to go from the spot where the new plant is sitting to the existing plant. So a lot of piping work to do first.
So I guess a soft start in that they broke up that concrete, but a lot of other pipe coming in. When do we expect them to really see a lot of things moving?
I can have a pretty good update for you next council meeting after the meeting
That's
tomorrow.
right, the meeting is tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll all be there with the contractors,
Gotcha.
with the engineer, and all the city personnel. So we'll have a good idea of what's going to happen next after tomorrow.
And if there's a question, that's a separate project, but on the site. So if you have any questions for Matt, please ask him those questions. But again, this is just for introduction. Next item is also introduction. It's Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance number 031 of 2024, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to award the bid to replace airfield signage and lights at the Natchitoches Regional Airport. Whereas this bid was advertised in the Natchitoches Times on September 12th, September 19th, and September 26th of 2024 in accordance with law. whereas the above appointed committee members recommended the city award the bid to the lowest bidder, F&W Electric Contractors, in the amount of $425,000. And this is for introduction only.
Thank you, Councilman PT. Ed would normally cover this, and he's not able to be here tonight, but I do have a note from him. And just to kind of further say what Councilman PT read, this is to replace the airfield signage and lights. This upgrades everything to LED and is 100% funded by LADOTD. I know what you always love to hear that.
The whole Eddie's line.
Right. The bids received were very close and were less than the designer's estimate. So they were all kind of competitive and less than what the engineer said it would cost. So that's good in terms of we got some good bids on it. So just for introduction, Ed is the one. If you got any other specific questions about that, you can reach out to via email or give him a call on it. And then our last item to be introduced is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is ordinance 32 of 2024, an ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement and indemnification, defense, and hold harmless agreement with the Cane River Waterway District and the Cane River National Heritage Area to provide for the development and construction of improvements on downtown East Bank seawall, authorizing the mayor, Ronnie Williams Jr., to execute the cooperative endeavor agreement on behalf of the city of Natchitoches. And I'll read I have this long deal, the pertinent paragraph, which is being of the opinion that its participation in the project will benefit Cane River Lake and the public who utilize Cane River Lake. The district, that's the Cane River Waterway District, has agreed to contribute up to the sum of $400,000 towards the cost of the overall project. And this for introduction only.
Okay, introduction. This is paid for by Cane River Waterway Commission. It just, of course, has to come through the city. I had a note here that I wanted to share. Thought I did anyway. But I do have a couple images. I think most of us have probably seen this already. As Steve is getting those pictures for us of the seawall. It was really exposed when we went through the drought last year. I think everybody remembers that. I certainly know the water department does, and the issues we had, especially as it relates to manganese. And I don't know if those can be expanded. I'm sorry for not having those expanded as maybe well as we could. But if you were physically there, yeah, that might do us a little good. I think we kind of see what the seawall looks like. And not just the grass, but some of it collapsing and deteriorated. And really the low water levels in the Cane help us to really kind of notice that and recognize it. So Cane River Waterway Commission has been a good partner. The funding is not to exceed $400,000. It's a quote for vinyl wall plus a contingency. And it says that we will not use treated wood downtown. And he even gives a detail about it being 1,400 feet of public ownership wall area. So, but just, again, I know we see the condition in that particular spot. I think this is pretty straightforward, pretty clear that it's a project that needs to be done. Cane River has the funds to get it done. So I don't know if there's any comment from you, council, about this, but.
So it's gonna go all the way down? Or just?
I don't know exactly how far down. I think that's probably the worst part. That may be, I'm guessing that's probably the worst part. But I don't know how far down, because 400,000 sounds like a lot, but then when you consider, what did he say?
St. Maurice Lane on the north and extension of Stevens Avenue on the south, so it's
Both lanes.
St. Maurice, and then to what else?
Stevens Avenue on the south.
Stevens Avenue. It's a considerable amount, yeah, I think. So you're covering up several streets. I think Randy may have said 1,400 feet. 1,400 feet is what it's covering. So that's pretty, that's it. That's
Basically where the Christmas lights located at.
Okay.
certainly, I think, you get a lot of that. But it's for introduction, and we had a few people who are going to be here. Rebecca Blankenbaker has been involved in it, and Ed is not here tonight, so they'll certainly be able to talk at the next meeting, or if you need to call them and ask them a question. Certainly, but again, I think this is a good project, no-brainer for us. Good partnership with Cane River. We obviously own that, but they manage the river and have the funds to do it. So this is a good project for us. And they can only spend their funds on Cane River Waterway related projects. So it's not like they can take funding and put it somewhere else in town. I know somebody might think that, but no, they can't. All righty, we've got a few resolutions, about 5, and the first one is read by Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 093 of 2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 1 to the contract between the City of Natchitoches and WUMEC, did I pronounce the name right? And Sons Construction Group LLC from the wastewater collection system rehabilitation on Casa Lift Station, whereas the City of Natchitoches and the city awarded a bid to WUMEC and Sun Construction Group LLC contract on November the 14th of 2022 by ordinance number 070 of 2022 in the amount of $561,194 for the wastewater collection system of rehabilitation Casa Lift Station, bid number 0650. Whereas October 15, 2024, the contract issue number, change order number 1, fully described as attached A, and whereas the contract time will be increased by change order number 1 in the amount of 215 calendar days, revised the contract times will be 335 calendar days, whereas the project engineer hearing Sherlock was recommended change order, and whereas the city's opinion that the change order number 1 is the best interest of the city, now and therefore be resolved by the City of Natchitoches and legal session convened by Honorable Ronnie Williams Jr., Mayor, and hereby authorize and power and direct the execution from the change order number 1 to agreement between the City of Natchitoches and the contract WUMEC and Sun Construction Group of LAC, and I move to adopt resolution number 093 of 2024.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Actually, the next piece deals with the Kaiser Lift Station. I did take a few pictures of that as well. Did you get my pictures on that? Oh, okay. You might want to. Yeah, check through the email real quick. But even if we don't have the pictures, you could, as you're going down, what is that, Tommy Lube, in between Pizza Hut and Tommy Lube on Kaiser? Know what that is? So you've been seeing some development happen there. Now, I put a post about this maybe about a year ago, and somebody was like, well, why would y'all put that there? It was actually already there. So lift station is about sewer. I mean, we know that we've got a way to humanely, in a clean way, a way that's environmental friendly, certainly keep people safe, dispose of our sewer. And it's just a part of what you got to do to run a city. And so it was already there, but we certainly got it enhanced. And I went there the other day, Matt. We have a guy who is working for Schuler Engineering who used to be with our department. What's his name?
Dwayne Stedman.
Stedman. So Stedman is just kind of working for them. And he was just, oh man, this is state-of-the-art stuff. And he was kind of giving that whole spiel. But this came about, I think in 2022, we won a Delta Regional Authority grant. And we ended up boosting it up to about $480,000 of a grant. So it's kind of gotten delayed because of parts and things like that, but we're finally to the end of it, and I know Matt has been excited about it. So this, by the way, this change order is not about money, but it's about the length of time. So Matt, if there's anything else you want to say about that.
No, you covered it. It's been a long project. It's because of equipment delays, going back to COVID, still seeing those delays. And it's a very deep lift station, so difficult to work, and all the rain we had this spring, and so once it dried up this summer and kind of got into the drought, they were able to get a lot of work done.
It's looking pretty good.
Ma'am,
It's
all we have
looking
left
good.
on site is the fence.
What is the primary service area of that lift station?
Part of Parkway Drive, all of Kaiser Avenue.
Pecan Park?
Some of East Fifth comes in behind there. So really all the commercial, just about all the commercial development right there on Kaiser.
So it's a
Some of
pretty
Highway 1.
pretty major,
Yeah, and Royal Street and a lot of that goes in there too.
and it's on the pathway to Laird Fletcher Road.
That's right.
It's looking good.
Yep, so that's what that is about, more days. So certainly a good project for us. You can take a look at it. We didn't have any pictures, huh, Steve? No pictures? Okay, gotcha. All right, did we have a motion and a second on that? I don't.
Yes.
We got a motion second. Any other comment? All right, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. This next agenda item, when we get to the end of a project, this is what we typically do. So we've seen some substantial completions before, but it's read by Councilwoman at-large Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. This is resolution number 094, 2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a certificate of substantial completion to the contract between the City of Natchitoches and Womack and Sons Construction Group, LLC, for wastewater collection system rehabilitation Kaiser Lift Station, bid number 0650. Whereas the City of Natchitoches has contracted with Womack and Sons Construction Group, LLC, for wastewater collection system rehabilitation, the Kaiser Lift Station, bid number 0650. Whereas this work has been completed, and whereas a substantial completion inspection has been performed by the engineer and a representative of the City of Natchitoches, and they find the project to be complete. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the City of Natchitoches in legal session convened that the Honorable Ronnie Williams, Jr., Mayor, be and is hereby authorized, empowered, and directed to execute the reference certificate of substantial completion for Womack and Sons Construction Group, LLC. And Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 094, 2024.
A motion made and seconded. Again, this is tied to the same Kaiser lift station, just a part of what we have to do. And again, Matt, this lift station, we've got them through our town. It's moving the sewer to the sewer plant, I think we said in one presentation.
Yeah, we have about 52 of them all over town.
It's all about getting it to the sewer plant. Is that what it does?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. All right, good. So 52 of them, man. And all of them have to be remodeled over time, maybe?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep, so,
And we did three this year. You remember we did Mill Street, Grand Decor, and Kaiser.
and we got Kaiser. And most part funded through grants.
Yes.
Grant loan combination. I know the Mill Street and the Granite Court were.
Through DEQ. Yeah.
Great. Any comment or question here? When will it go online, like you say, or is it?
It's online now.
It's
So
online?
it never really went offline. We had temporary, the contractors had temporary pumps there during construction. So, yeah, but it is completely usable now, online, as it will be for now.
So no more construction happening, or they still got a few more things to do?
Yeah, just the fence. And
Okay, yeah, I saw the metal. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, close.
So good. Any comment, council? Anybody? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. All right, next item is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 095 of 2024, a resolution authorizing a one-time salary supplement payment to the City of Natchitoches employees. Whereas the City of Natchitoches recognizes the need to increase the compensation of its employees, whereas due to the city employees maintaining a safe work environment and not utilizing the workers' compensation fund throughout the year, there exists a sufficient surplus in the workers' compensation fund of the City of Natchitoches to make a one-time salary supplement payment of $600 to the regular full-time employees, $600 to the city council members, and $300 to the regular part-time employees actively working. Whereas this one-time salary supplement is not a bonus for work already performed, but is intended as future earned compensation for the remainder of this fiscal year. Now therefore be it resolved that this salary supplement shall be a one-time payment this fiscal year only and not an annual event, and shall not become a part of any employee's base salary or salary schedule. Mayor, I so move to adopt resolution number 095.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is something that's been going on, I think, since the early 2000s, and it's been $500, so we just thought this year to make a little change. It won't make anybody rich, right? But to boost it up $100 to $600, and then you have your different levels for full-time, part-time, such as that. So, so this is what we were thinking about here. Obviously, given the cost of things in 2000 or whenever it started versus the cost of things now. So it's just that attempt to say, hey, we understand that the cost of bread is different now than it was. I think I do see one hand in the back. Council, did y'all have anything to say here? Okay. Ms. Thompson?
My name is Deborah Thompson, and I spoke about this last year. And it has been something that's been happening, but my opinion last year and this year, it remains the same. If there's an overage of money that the taxpayers have put in for something, then the money needs to go back to the taxpayers. So that is my position, and I'm just stating it one more time, that this, I think, it isn't something that the employees have paid. It has come from taxpayer money, so it should go back to the taxpayers if there's an overage. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Clarissa, I'm not sure if there's something here or maybe off the
No, I
here you
mean, we
want to
can
say?
just, explain that this is workers' comp funds that are collected through payroll. And this is to encourage staff to lessen the risk of accident and more money that we would put out if they were involved in an accident, especially that would keep them out of work for an extended amount of time. The structure of it is definitely based on how long you have been here in regards to that respective year. So if you haven't been here for the full year, then you won't get the full 600. It's graded by per quarter that you're actually here. So we go by a 3-month look and see, if you were here 12 months, you'll get the full 600. If you were here 9, you get a little less, so on and so forth. But these are workers' comp funds. Don't want to get into the debate of whether or not it's, taxpayer dollars, because of course taxpayer dollars does help the city run. But this is something that we do to encourage our employees to stay safe while they're at work.
Gotcha. Ms. Thompson, you've got a question?
Yes, I do have a question. So my question is workers' comp paid by the employees?
It's employee-employer funded.
So the employees are paying part of the workers' comp, their own workers' comp?
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, if they're paying.
It's a workers' comp tax that's on every employee.
It comes out of their paychecks.
Yeah, come out of their paychecks. Yep.
Well, if they're paying for it, then of course they should get it back.
Yeah.
I thought it was taxpayer money that was paying for this.
It's not 100% taxpayer money, and we can figure up the amounts and all that, but taxpayers, it's not 100% taxpayer money. There is a workers' comp tax on every employee.
Thank you for that clarity, Clarissa. All right, any other comments or questions here? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
PT?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, council. I know employees will be grateful. 2 more items. The next one is read by Councilman Harrington.
This is Resolution 96 of 2024, a resolution approving an annual payment in lieu of taxes related to the substantial rehabilitation of the Natchitoches Thomas Apartments. And I know Mr. Basada is here, so I'm going to let him explain further instead of me reading paragraph after paragraph.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mike Busada. And basically what we have today is a great announcement. $37 million is being proposed by the private development team to substantially rehabilitate the Natchitoches Thomas Apartments, those on Thomas
great.
Drive. And so what this would entail, this project has been approved by the Louisiana Housing Corporation. The development team has received tax credits, federal tax credits to help fund this. All their funding's in place. The last piece that they need in order to make this project economical is this pilot. And basically what we're doing is this complex has been owned by a nonprofit as long as anybody can remember. And so they've never had to pay taxes, property taxes as a nonprofit. In order for them to take advantage of these federal tax credits, the property must be transferred temporarily to a different entity. And so the current nonprofit is going to maintain ownership of the land, and they're going to sell and give a ground lease to this new entity. And then they will they'll sell the buildings to this new entity. That will allow them to get these federal tax credits to help fund the substantial rehabilitation. However, if they do that, then on the other hand, they would lose their tax exempt property tax break. And so what is being asked today is that basically that this resolution would give approval for them to maintain, to freeze their current property tax rates so that they're not penalized for utilizing these other funds in order to rehabilitate this project. And so it's a great project. Attorney Washington and I talked before, and he had recommended, which I think is good policy, that we amend this to say that the project must start within 24 months in order to receive this benefit. So I think that makes a lot of public policy sense, and have nothing opposed to that. But with your approval, this would be able to move forward, and we would see a $37 million investment to bring these apartments to a very wonderful place.
That's great.
And I see that's double the amount I think I told y'all. I think I told y'all around 18 or something. I didn't realize it was 37. Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I do think that's a good point by Alex, to put the 24 months in there. I think I agree with that.
Absolutely.
Yep. So just having Mike say it is good, right, Alex?
Somebody would need to just make that.
One of the council needs to say it?
Yeah, so one of the council members would just need to make a motion to amend to add that requirement to the resolution.
And the requirement that the project starts within 24 months to get the benefit of the tax exemption.
Correct, correct. Of the payment in lieu of tax.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we amend the agenda to have the project start within 24 months, and the amount, is there amount?
No, ma'am, you can just amend the resolution to require that it's only effective if the project starts within 24
Only
months.
effective, and that it only be effective if the project starts within 24 months.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
That's great.
Second.
Yes, ma'am. One of the things that's required under the federal regulations and state regulations is the developer has to put in place a relocation, a temporary relocation. And so the people that are coming in are responsible for finding temporary places to relocate that are of, equal quality while they're being redone, and then they get the first right to move back into them. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and move you here, probably do. They'll probably move people.
Yeah, and that all has to be approved by Louisiana Housing Corporation under HUD guidelines. So they're very strict about that, making sure that the people that are going to get the benefit of having the new apartments are also given a good, safe place to live while they're being done.
Would we happen to know who the company will be at this time, or you don't know, you don't want to expose it at this time?
The company that will have it will be Natchitoches Thomas Apartments Preservation LLC. And basically, when these affordable housing developments take place, you typically have investors from across the country as well as developers that will come and put their money into it. And so it's typically a group of investors and developers from all over. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It's gonna be nice.
All right. I'm sorry, go
I
ahead.
say it's gonna be nice.
I'm sorry.
I say it's gonna be nice.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, all right, I don't know if there are two things, Gary, that we got to do. Do we need to amend it looked like we're amending the resolution before or she did it all within, we just vote one time?
She did it and someone seconded it.
I say,
Okay.
So we need to vote on her.
We need to vote on the amendment to the resolution.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a motion and a second for the amendment to amend the resolution to.
Approve the.
96.
What's that?
Resolution 96.
No, I think we need to do the amendment first.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
He's saying it
That
right.
added in the 21.
They added in the 24 months
24, God.
that you can't get the benefit unless the work starts within 24 months.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Can't get the tax. All right, that's the one we're voting on now.
That's the one we're going.
Is that clear?
That's my story, I'm sticking.
Clear as mud.
All right, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
For the amendment, Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. And this other part is just, I guess, to approve this resolution, the rest of the resolution,
As amended.
as amended. Okay? All right, we got a motion earlier, but I guess we need another motion? Because it's different?
Because it's been amended.
second.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Yeah, I second.
All right, we did get a motion? Who motion?
Well, I'll move to adopt Resolution 96, 2024 as amended.
Okay.
And I second it.
All right, motion is made and second. Any comment on this particular motion? All right, seeing none, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Last resolution on the agenda is read by Councilwoman Washington Eli.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 097, 2024, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation, the development of LADOTD for improvement at the Natchitoches Regional Airport, rehabilitation runway 735, taxiway and opera, and whereas the LAT will provide necessary fund for rehabilitation runway 1735 taxiway opera for reimbursement of sponsor up to $3,298 of the project. And I move to adopt resolution number 097, 2024.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. This is the final adjustment. This is from Ed Yard to close out the rehabilitation of runway 1735, taxiways and apron project. This is for the portion of the grant from LADOTD. It was a 90% FAA, 10% LADOTD. The LADOTD changed the way they handle overages on grants, and this is to adjust the amount of the grant from LADOTD. Instead of adjusting the amount of the grant, when the project is finished, they issue a new grant for any overages. In this case, the overage for LADOTD was $3,298 and resulted in a new supplemental grant. So that's just to give clarity on that. Any comments or questions about it? All right, great, because I can't answer them anyway. But Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petey.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Okay, so for the next 2 hours, Clarissa Smith has the floor.
It won't take 2 hours. Thank you, Mayor. These are September's tax collection reports. As you can see on the first slide, you'll see a pie chart that just shows how the money has been divided up and what our piece of the pie is. And year to date, we're at $10.4 million. The next chart will show you a 3-year comparison by month as far as how much we're collecting compared to the previous years in that same month. And as you can see, 2024 is in the blue. And we have exceeded the last 2 years in collections. For September of 2024, we were up $57,000 more in that particular month than last year, and that's a 5% increase. The next slide that you'll see is just a collective look at how we measure up over the last 4 years on tax collections. For 2024, which is that last bar, you can see that we have exceeded the previous 3 years, and we are up 2%, and that totals to $210,000 more collected this year than on last year. So doing very good. Again, they do a lot of comparison views, which I do favor. So this again just shows you how we measure up month by month. This does show you fiscal year versus calendar year. So this starts in June, and that those top 2 bars are September. Yellow is 2020, our fiscal 2025, which starts in 2024. So we again just show you that we are far exceeding where we were last year, same time, 5% increase, which adds up to $57,000 more in this particular month.
So we're making money.
We making money, yes. The next slide, you'll see again, just another comparison. This gives us the fiscal year comparison again versus the calendar year comparison. Fiscally, measured up against the last 3 years, we're up 1.15%. We're up $52,000 in tax collections. So this fiscal year, which starts in June, we have done very well, and we are trending upward. So definitely looks good there. Again, that's just another comparison next to it on that month-to-date type of format. Our TIF tax, which is on our next slide, our 2% tax, not doing as well as we were last year. We are doing much better than 2022 and 2023, but not as good as we were last year, same time. This is a fiscal year view. I know that that looks like a large margin, but it's not as large as we would think, only down 11,000 there, so about a 6% decrease right now.
This is on what, which one?
This is TIF, TIF tax, that 2% tax that we have. So we're just slightly down right now. But we'll definitely keep an eye on that,
Is
ma'am.
that going toward the interstate?
Yes, ma'am.
That could probably be because of the roundabout that's probably occurring there, probably.
No,
It's not.
I wouldn't say it was a roundabout. It's just certain times of year. We'll definitely ramp up as we go into the holiday months. Again, this is far exceeding where we were in 2022 and 2023, so I wouldn't contribute it to the roundabout because we are doing better than those 2 years. I don't have everything from 2024 in front of me, but for some reason we saw quite a jump. But as you can see, compared to that 4-year trend, that was far above all 4 years that you see there. So then this might have been an anomaly there, you know. But we are doing much better than the previous 2 years. So not a huge concern, but we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see, UOC, a chart. I know it's hard to see you guys, so I'm so sorry that I don't have copies for everyone. We're going to try to do a little bit better and drop this into a different file so it can be a little bit more visible. So I apologize there, but this just shows some of our Economic Development District collections. For Economic Development District A, we are up 44% year to date. And for Economic Development District C, we are down slightly of 7%, which totals to less than maybe 10,000 there.
And can we see real quick, Steve, does it show where A is?
Yeah, if you click over just a couple.
Click one time,
you may
Steve.
have to come back. There we go. So that shows Economic Development District A.
That's the one that's up 40-something?
Like a teacher, but this is in the 2nd Street area, Sibley, Lafayette, those areas. And then here you'll see Economic Development District B. That's in the Bayou Blue area. And if you click over one more time, feel like a teacher. The EDDC, you can see where that's in that I-49 University Parkway area, so one of our larger economic development districts. And D, which I haven't reported on, that's just our Hobby Lobby. So we wanted, the mayor asked for us to put some of those maps up so you can kind of clearly see where those tax funds are coming from.
Okay.
Thank you, Teacher Brown.
That is not my calling. Again, we had Development District D, which is our Hobby Lobby. We are up 48% there, so doing really good in that area. It'll only get better with Christmas. Everybody loves Hobby Lobby during Christmas, so it'll only get better. And then with Economic Development District E, we're up 14%. And with Economic Development District F, which is our Mill Street district, that is at 26,000 for the year, which is amazing, because if you don't know, that is, we only have 2 operating businesses there, Flying Heart and the Riverside Reserve, I think that's the name of it.
And that's 26,000
26
calendar year or starting in the fiscal year?
Calendar year.
Okay,
So
so
that's
back in
26,000 for our calendar year. This will be our first full calendar year having that EDD established. So it'll be good to see where we end for this year, and then as we roll into the new year, how we begin to compare. But that it's doing very good to say you only have 2 businesses.
And that's
there.
F. You mentioned E, that's got to be Riverside.
Yeah,
Riverside.
yeah.
No, not Riverside.
Commons.
Commons, you know what I mean. Riverside Commons,
Yep, Riverside Commons. Yep. And they are up 14%, so still
Oh,
doing.
Riverside Commons is?
They're still up 14%, you know, in lieu of, I
Probably
know
Big
some of the
Lots,
closing
yeah.
and things like that. I know Big Lot kind of did the big sale, so they kind of helped them maintain there, but they're up 14%.
I heard good news on that.
Yeah.
We're losing Big Lots.
But you're getting, what is that? Ollie's.
Ollie's.
Yeah.
bought
Yep,
So
you'll
many of
get
their
a-
franchises.
Yep.
No, that's good.
That'll be
No,
a
I think that is
welcome
positive.
store.
That is not gonna be empty, it's
I ain't
gonna
never
be,
been on no Ollie's.
gonna be full.
It's pretty neat.
It's a nice store.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay. Do I have one more, Steve, or no? No?
Of course, that's the Mill District one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not. I did have, I have it in front of me, just with our hotel occupancy tax. We didn't put it up there, but, we are just slightly down 1% on our hotel, occupancy tax TIF A, and I think we, already kind of went over that. And then TIF C, we are, slightly down, 10%, only results in about 21,000, but slightly down. But again, as the holiday months come around, you'll see that spike dramatically. Okay, well, that's all I have.
Nice job.
So we're up big in some places, we're
up
slightly
big,
down in some
but
places.
you know, we're up big overall, which is really, really good to see. And that when we look at it, we like to look at the big picture, because that's how your city is flowing, is running, and around your entire city, and not just in specific areas like I-40. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, we're not doing as well out there, so we may not be doing good overall, but we are doing very good overall. So.
Thank you, you did a really good job. I like teachers, by the way.
I would assume.
All right, we got a few announcements. Thank you, Mrs. Brown Smith, for that. Hey, the next meeting is on the 12th, and you'll notice that the 12th is a Tuesday because Veterans Day is on a Monday. It's also my daughter's birthday. But it's on a Monday, so we won't have our council meeting on that Monday because that's a holiday recognized by the city. So we'll come back that next Tuesday, the next day, okay? So I know that's a little change. Whenever Veterans Day falls on a Monday and the council meeting falls on that same day, all right? So just jot that down on your calendars, council. We always encourage regroup. We've started putting those on our press release. I had a really good idea to do that. So we are trying to encourage people to download the app and so that they know things that are going on. So we use that app frequently when there are road closures. We had to do a road closure on Washington. We had a big line just collapse on us, a water leak that we found, and you know, so we use it then and in other places. And then the Go Natchitoches app, a lot of great things going on. A lot of great things going on this weekend, Saturday, with NSU homecoming, Which Way to Maine. Of course, across the bridge, you had Smoking on the Red. I mean, just a lot of good things, and I think everything worked out on that Saturday. It was good. But the 29th, which is tomorrow, there is a ribbon cutting scheduled for, who is this? Oh, Jeter Therapy Group. All right. So it's scheduled for 11:15. The ribbon cutting will be at that time. So that's something to certainly try to attend and make it to. Also the 29th, a Halloween Fest, family engagement, sponsored by the Boys and Girls Club. So that's from 5 to 7 on tomorrow. So tell kids about that. That's something going on as well. All right. We have, this is one I saw kind of cool, the Natchitoches Community Care Center. They're having their second annual. It's Trick or Treat. It's going to be on Halloween. So we're looking at some rain in the forecast. So this certainly is something that's indoors. So that'll be great to get to that. So I don't know what the others are going to do about their event, but I've heard a couple people talk about the rain coming in. But this is from 5 to 7 on actual Halloween day. All right, we got anything else? Okay, Farmers Market, definitely want to get there, want to make it. I'll be coming for the first time. All right, Sean, I'm coming. All right, but that's going to be holiday cheer, so that we only have a few more left in the fall, right? How many we got, about 3 or 4 more? Yeah, 3 more after this one? Okay, so yeah, you want to, what's that?
November 12th is the end.
November 12th is the end, so okay. 12th? Must be 16th.
Oh, I'm sorry, 16th.
16, okay, yeah, I got you. All right, so let's support that. So I know it was probably attended well. All right, we got a health fair. This is by the Natchitoches Parish Council on Aging. It's November 4th, 10 to 12, and they'll be doing things like blood pressure, vision, hearing, glucose, legal services, so a lot of things going on. Then they've got bingo, special bingo from 9 to 10, so that's pretty cool coming up on the 4th. Veterans Day, City of Natchitoches, one of our people who organized this, the city's very own, Jennifer Brumley, our HR department, our manager. So this is just a moment to celebrate the heroism of our veterans and just certainly appreciate what they do, put their lives on the line for us, for our safety, our freedom. So that's going to be on the 7th. That's going to be on the 7th at 10 a.m. Riverbank Stage. Okay? All right, Veterans Day celebration happening on Friday the 8th. I think this one's put on by NRMC and some others as well. I can't see everybody else on there, but I see the hospital. So there's a free breakfast. This is at Riverside Reserve at 8:30 on the 8th, so to honor our veterans. So several things going on to pay respect to our veterans, so we certainly want to be a part of those. And then we got our Farmers Market, Gobble Fest coming up on the 9th. And then there should be one more, I guess, that it shows. All right, Light the Way, 5K run. This is an annual event. I thought it was. This is like a new one, though. This is sponsored by Lang. It's an Natchitoches Young Professional, so I think this is the same one they do every year, but Lang Orthodontics is helping to put it on. So that's going to be, it's a night run, Sunday the 24th, 5 to 7. So again, pretty cool thing to do, and they have a way where you can sign up to participate and be a part of it. That's it? Okay. A lot of announcements to announce. Always encourage you to follow or download the Go Natchitoches app. Tells you about everything going on. All right. Thank you all for being here. At this time, we have a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right. Meeting is adjourned.